So today our discussion is about Mork and Mindy.
Star Trek. I know, I'm not a dweeb. Star Trek.
So, is this from Mork and Mindy, like Nanook Nanook, or is it from Star Trek?
It was like Divide and Conquer or something like that.
I think it's Mork and Mindy. I'm going to go with Mork and Mindy. You can leave us a comment which one you think it is.
It's the tall dude with the weird ass hair. That guy.
Mork and Mindy. Nanook Nanook.
Yep.
Okay, so for reals, we are going to be talking about our best or most sought.
The books you need for the apocalypse.
We're talking about, today we're talking about our prepping books that every prepper, homesteader, self-reliance, blah, 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 end of the world, zombies are coming, everybody should have. Period.com. So, my number one pick.
My number one pick.
Okay, probably not my number one pick, but one of the best books ever is called The Patriots.
The dogs think so too.
This is by James Wesley Rawls. Fantastic author. This one's kind of set up like a fictional book. This is a phenomenal book.
Intelligence officer wrote it. Awesome book.
Yeah.
Fiction form.
Yeah. The first chapter or so talks about, he sets it up for you, and then it goes into a lot of detail on what everybody could do. It's really a really great depictive of what could happen, what could a scene that he sets up, and how they survive, as patriots. So I've read this multiple times. In fact, I'm currently reading it again, and I highly recommend this for everybody. He also has a survival blog that I will put in the description. You should check out. It's quite fascinating. There's a lot of cool stuff, and he always has giveaways in there, so I'll go ahead and put this in the description as well.
You gotta have the Bible, man. Most important book ever. With that book and that book, you'll survive through anything and everything.
Gotta have the Bible.
That's right.
That's an important book to go with right there. Okay.
Number one selling book in the world. For like 2 million years running.
So, speaking of James Wesley Rawls, I have another book of his that I think everybody should have, and it's How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It. Now, this book I actually found very fascinating, and you probably can't see it, but I have tons of highlighting going on in this book. I know you can attest to that. Mm-hmm. It has so many categories, from canning, gardening, butchering animals, fence fixing.
Gardening is kind of weak in that book. It's very slow. Very hard to get through. Same with the other book. It's in there too.
I didn't find it that way. It talks about fuel storage. It really has a lot of great information. And for me, I actually found this book quite captivating. I learned there was a lot of stuff in here I had no idea about. And the way I was raised, I come from a whole line of family that was preppers and homesteaders. So there was some great information in here. So I do recommend this for everyone. What's your next pick?
You don't have it on the table. It's hidden. It's a book called The Poor Man's James Bond. It's an awesome book. Get it. It's on eBay. Hard to find. Worth every penny. The second, third, fourth, and fifth kind of sucked. The first one's good. Moving on.
Okay. So another book that I find is very helpful. This one is Wild Berries of the Pacific Northwest. Now this one is set to our region, but I think everybody should get something that's in their region that talks about what you can get to eat, what berries you can have. And the thing I like about this is it's got like a lot of great pictures in it, and it does explain everything. So this is another one that I take with us. In fact, every time we go in the woods, I usually take it with. And this pretty much I have found stuff out of this all the way to the Rockies. So if you live west of the Rockies, this book would be a good venture for you.
That way you don't eat berries and shit your pants.
I don't know what I'm going to do with him.
Trapper's Bible. Pretty good book. Written by the redneck dude out in South Carolina, wherever he's at.
North Carolina.
Yeah. That Eustace guy. Anyways,
Mountain Men.
Good book. Don't sit down and read it. Go out in the field, try to use it. The Trapper's Bible is an excellent read. Go out in the field, read it if you want to learn how to kill things. You can trap them, and then you can skin them. It tells you all of it, and the tools you need to take pills.
Good book. And that was Eustace from that TV series Mountain Men, if you ever watched that.
The weirdo redneck dude.
Okay. Big surprise here. Another James Wesley Rolls book. This one is every tool that you would need for survival. And I don't know how this guy thinks of all these different situations, but for a female, there was some of it that was way too manly for me to quite grasp my head around. But it had a lot of good tips, and I definitely think there's some great advice in here that everybody could use. Your turn.
In my bug out bag, I carry the Bushcraft Field Guide to Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking. Once again, a book that is not a page turner, but very effective in the field, especially when you forget a lot of stuff like I do. This dude wrote an excellent book, and it's got cool little cartoon pictures and stuff in it, and how to kill stuff, and how to survive in the wild. It's good.
Okay, so we really like to forage. So whenever we go out, like on our side-by-side or go hiking or anything, I'm always picking stuff. I can't help myself. So I really like this book, and it's basically All That Rain Promises and More, but it's a mushroom book. And it has the best descriptions, pictures. It literally tells you all about the gills on a mushroom, what it can be used for, what parts of it can be used, if it's edible, if it's not, if there's something that looks similar to it, so you don't accidentally think you have the correct mushroom and then end up eating something that's poisonous. Excellent book. We've used it several times. So I think it's really important for everybody to know if you are somebody that eats mushrooms.
Especially the magical ones. 10-minute intermission, fucking with dogs. The next most important book you'll ever not read is water storage. Water's important. You need it to live. A lot of you don't think about it. Important shit. We have this for hydroelectric and for other stuff. Get one. Oh, and it's got colorful pictures and pages and shit like that.
And it also talks about not only different ways to harvest water, but different ways to store it as well. So it's a very informative book.
Harvest water?
Harvest?
Harvest? Harvest is killing. I'd be into it then.
Okay, so this book I have, so When There's No Doctor, basically this was written by a bunch of field doctors when they go to these really, really rare villages and they don't have medical care. And so this is to help people get through that time. And if we were in an H or SHTF situation, something like this would be vital. And there is nothing this book doesn't talk about. It talks everything about common sicknesses, to injuries, to surgeries, to childbirth. It's really jam-packed full of a lot of information. Honestly think everybody in the world should have this book. It's super informative unless you're a doctor.
I just read the back. I know everything there is to know about being a doctor now. Dude, that was a 12-year degree reading the back of the book. That important.
The next Doogie Howser.
That one's yours.
Oh, hey, I just got this book. So, Learning to Tan, or Brain Tanning the Sioux Way. So last year was my first attempt on tanning hide. Didn't go so awesome, but I've been really practicing and studying on it, and this had some really great tips. And I actually discovered this again from watching Mountain Men. Tom Orr, he's like considered a master tanner, and I have some friends that knew him and or that know him. He's not passed, but anyway, so this was his one of his books that he used when he was learning, and because he is a master tanner, I think he does an excellent job. So I kind of wanted to follow suit on that. This is it's a really small book. I mean, you could read it in probably like 30 minutes. I don't know, but so anyway, that was something I just picked up. And then again, Pacific Northwest medicinal plants. This
You need a book to grow pot.
You're a dork.
Just 2 medical plants.
This book, everything from like colds to ailments of your body, you know, sprains, back problems, menstrual cramps. I mean, there's so many things in here, and honestly, there was a lot of it I didn't know, and it's kind of nice because it tells you like what the plan is, and then it gives you the actual medicinal use for it and what part of it you can use. So it's really helped us on our journey finding our medicinal garden that we use.
Not pot.
Okay, so anyway, this has a lot of great information in it. Oops, has a lot of great information in it, and it really tells you so that you can safely make sure you're harvesting the correct plants, and then which part of the plant that you'll want to use. So,
The Anarchist Cookbook. Great read. Lots of fun facts. Don't know if it's legal anymore.
okay, so just to recap, these are the books that we use. I want you to be able to see the face of them. I'll put the links, but that way, some of these are kind of older. I don't know if I'll be able to find the exact link for it anymore, but I will do my best. But this way you can at least see who wrote them. That way, if that's something that you want to do or purchase as your own stockpile of preppers books, you'll have exactly what you need. And if you don't get these, I'm way okay with that. I just really suggest that you get something. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this gave you a little bit of useful information. Have a great day.
Live long and prosper. Hello.
We go in peace.
It's like that.
It's like Mark and Mindy.
It's not Mark and Mindy. That was Star Trek, dude.
Mark and Mindy did
No,
that too.
this
Nanu,
is the
nanu.
dweeb with weird hair.
I'm pretty sure it's Mark and Mindy too.
Leave a comment below who's right, Star Trek or
Mark and Mindy.
Robin Williams.